Everybody, welcome back to episode of our tier list series. We're back here. It hasn't been too long since the last episode, but just trying to keep consistent. I'm actually having so much fun making the series. I enjoy making it because I like to use my computer. I know I mentioned it in probably the first episode. I think it was. I like using my computer. It's a newer computer that I have, and I enjoy using it, especially for videos. It's fun to use. Plus, it's a nice computer. But it's just fun to use, and plus it's fun to rate stuff with the tier list series and whatnot. It's just so fun. It's such a fun series, and just another thing I'm happy to have here on the channel. So, yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I know the first two episodes were sports, but now we're gonna be moving on. I'll be back to sports eventually, but just to kind of mix it up a little bit. First, we'll be doing tier lists of all kinds of things across the board. I know this is a very popular subject with tiering, I guess, if you want to call it. Um, it's a very popular subject. Of course, most people do drive cars. I'm a one that drives cars. Not cars, but I drive. I have my own car, so I'm right up there. A lot of people drive cars, and a lot of people like to, everybody has their preferences of which vehicle they like to drive and what brand, and all that good stuff. Of course, I know it's this is strictly my opinion. I know sometimes when you rank car, um, manufacturers and whatnot, things can get controversial. People that tend to disagree with your opinion, but again, this is just my opinion. Strictly, as business. So, yeah, we're just gonna get right into it here. Starting off with Acura. I know a little bit about Acura. I don't know too much. But they have decent cars, and they kind of sum it down here. I know that some certain tier lists on this here website. It's a lovely website, by the way. But with certain tier lists, it's S tier or whatever tier. I think it's like letter tiers, but this one is just pretty straight up legendary, great, good, passable, bad, terrible, and atrocious. So very simple. To put Acura, I'll put passable. Acura is a nice passable. It's decent. Alfa Romeo, I don't know too much about them, so I'm not gonna say too much about brands I don't too much know about. Now that this isn't all the car brands, but these are the more popular ones. But I'll just put it passable, just on account of I don't really know too much about this car brand. I don't even know what this car brand is either. So again, I'm just gonna put that at atrocious. No offense to this car brand. At least I can't really see too good with this. Doesn't really say. I don't know the logo. I also don't know this logo. Yeah, there's quite a few on here that I don't know. So on account of this, I'm actually just going to wonder. Let's see here. I'm just gonna kind of put these at the by the wayside. There's just some here that I don't really know, and I'm not gonna really um tier them if I don't know it. So if I don't know, I'm gonna tier it. Maybe some other car enthusiasts know these logos. But unfortunately, I don't, so I apologize for that. Most of these logos here I do know enough, but there's some here scattered that I don't know too much about, so I'm just going to go by the wayside. Aston Martin, it's a nice luxury brand. I think I'll put it up there with great. Whoops, my mouse here. Aston Martin is great. It's a lovely luxury car manufacturer. I like my fair share, especially the early 2000 Aston Martins, especially the Vanquish. That's a nice one. So I think Aston Martin is up there with great. I'm not quite sure about legendary, but definitely great. Um, Audi, it's not a luxury car brand per se, but it's also a high end car brand. I'll say. So I'll put Audi at good. They're good sporty cars. They have a good brand and whatnot. I'm kind of basing this off of things that I've heard around around the internet and whatnot about these certain cars, um, reliability of their cars, whatever brand it is, reliability of the cars, and just performance, and also the look of some of their cars, um, and just in general of all the car manufacturers and what the car they produce. So that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. Pretty standard stuff. So yeah, Bentley. Bentley's a pretty decent. Again, kind of a high end. I'm just trying to think. Pretty high end. Again, another high end classic car. I'll put that up with Aston Martin. Um, Bentley. I'll put it in the great tier. It's a decent luxury car manufacturer. I like some Bentleys out there. They have some good cars. BMW. I'm also going to place with Audi. A high level car, but not necessarily luxury enough. Like some of them make luxury cars, but not necessarily like Aston Martin or Bentley. Bugatti is definitely a very more expensive car, and I think I would dare put that in the legendary category because they have some legendary cars, legendary designs, and a legendary brand overall. Buick is a more of the low end of the pole, if you want to say the totem pole. I'll put that with bad just because Buick are, I don't, in my opinion, they're not the best cars. I have heard some things about the lower class Buick vehicles that they made, and it's just not so good. Cadillac is pretty good. I'll put that at the passable tier. They're not. There are certain cars that they came out with that aren't the best, but it's also not the worst car manufacturer. Um, Caterham Super 7. I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm going to yeah, put that by the wayside. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna actually, while I'm here, I'm actually gonna I kind of put all the car brands that I don't really know too much at the bottom here. I'm not gonna rank them just on the count of, again, like I was saying before, I don't know them. I don't know which cars they are. So it's some of them are kind of not cropped out the best, but I'm just gonna kind of base off of what I know. I guess this is just the best tier I could find in terms of car brands. So fortunately, that's how it goes. But I mean, there are car brands. I'm not gonna lie. I imagine there are car brands, but I'm just saying I'm not gonna rank a car brand that I don't know too much about. Most of them on here I do know, but I'm just saying out of respect for the car brand. Chevrolet, it's they have some bad cars, but they also have some really good cars. So I'll put Chevrolet at passable. Citroen, I don't know too much. I know enough about it to put it at passable, but I don't know too much about them either. Daewoo, it's a nice car brand, but I'll also put it at passable because I don't know too much about them, but a little bit. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this car name, but I know they do make some interesting cars, but I don't know too much about them. But I'll put it at passable. Datsun, I do like Datsun. They are pretty good. I know enough about them again to put them at the passable list. Most of these are not most of them. They are going to be on passable. DMC, I'll put that at passable again. Dodge, I'll put that up at good because they do have some good muscle cars like the Scat Pack, the Charger and Challenger. I know Scat Pack's just the trim, but they have the Charger and Challenger. But there are some Dodge cars that are not that good, but I'll put it at good. Just from mostly their muscle and performance cars. Um, DS Automobiles, that's pretty good. I'll put it at passable. Fiat is I don't like Fiat very much. I don't like the cars they produce. Like some of their cars are just not really the best. So I'll put it at terrible, just because that's what I think of Fiat simply. Um, so yeah, that's just pretty simple and straight to the point. I'll put Ford up there. Great, they have some really good cars, especially the older ones. Of course, the classic, like the Mustang and whatnot. So they have some good cars up there. Especially the older ones, the more classic ones. Um, and of course you got the Ford trucks and whatnot. So Ford is pretty good. I'll put that up there at the great tier. Of course we got Genesis. That's passable. I'll put that there. GMC is I'll put it in the same tier of Chevy. It's like General Motors is run Chevy. Holden I'll put up there at passable. Honda I'll put up at there at good because they have some decent cars. They also have some bad cars at the same time. Um, Honda is just they're good. They're good. I'd say. Hudson up there is a passable one again. Most of these I don't know too much about, but I know a little bit about the Hudson cars, just not all of them. Hyundai, and I noticed recently that I got a couple years ago, a little bit of lore here. A couple years ago, I got real confused on whether I thought Honda and Hyundai were the same, but they're actually two very different car brands. So Hyundai is going to go passable because they have some decent cars. But it's passable again, just simply. Infinity is actually pretty good. They have some pretty good sportier cars, so I'll put that a good in the good tier. Suzu, I know that I know a couple of Suzu cars that actually are pretty good, so I'll put that at the passable tier. I like those. Um, Jaguar has some pretty decent cars. I'll put it at good again, more sportier. The more sportier side of things. Let's see. Jeep we have. Jeep again, I'll put it at good. They're not the best car manufacturer, but they also do put out some good cars. I like Jeep. Kia, I'm gonna put a terrible. All most Kia cars that I know of are terrible, and they run not very good at all. I'm gonna put this at the bottom. I'm not quite sure of this car brand. Put this at the bottom with all the rest of them. The left there. Lamborghini, I'll put that up there in legendary. They have absolutely put up some legendary cars. Of course, we got all kinds of different cars that Lamborghini has produced, and they're a legendary car maker. Dare I say, they're pretty good. Let's see, I'll put that again at passable. Land Rover's pretty good again, more sportier kind of luxury cars. I'll put them up there. Great, they have some good cars putting out there. Um, that they're putting up, kind of stuff like that. Lexus again, more sportier and sports cars, kind of not really sports cars, but more luxury cars. I'll pull that up a good tier. Lotus is actually pretty good. I don't want to put up there a legendary. I put it up there a great, just because they are more of a luxury car, sports car brand. Not really up there with Lamborghini or Bugatti. I'll tell you right now, very few are going to go up there with Legendary, and Maserati will be one of them for Legendary because I think Maserati is a great car brand again. Same reasoning for why Lamborghini and Bugatti is there. Noble, I think. Oh, that's a different one. Again, I got to put some of these at the bottom. So most of these are kind of going to go by the wayside. We got Mazda. Now I might know these name brands. Mazda's going to go in good just because they have nice sportier cars. Now the explanation for this here, maybe I know these brands, but I don't know them by logo. So if I knew the name of them, I could probably tier them better. But I don't think it says the name here. So unfortunately, I can't really tier them. So it's kind of like a half tier list. Unfortunately, I just kind of had to go by the wayside on some of them. But it's unfortunate. But I don't really know these things down here, these car brand names by logo, so that's kind of how it is. Got McLaren up here, or McLaren, however you want to pronounce it. I'll put it up there with legendary just because it's another good car brand. Mercury, I know that logo. See, some of these logos I know. At least I'm pretty sure that's Mercury. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think it's either Mercury or a different one, but I'm like 90% sure it's Mercury. I'll put it at bad because I know what I do know is some of those cars aren't the best. Um, MG, I wonder if I could reverse image search some of these car brands. Mini, mostly known for the Mini Cooper. Sorry, I'm kind of going in and out. Mini Cooper, I know that's what they're mostly known for. I'll put that at passable just because yeah, it's self-explanatory. Mitsubishi bad because I don't know. I know some of their cars are bad. We're gonna put a passable, but I know Mitsubishi isn't the best car manufacturer. Nissan, I'll put up there at I'm not gonna put it at passable. I'm gonna put it at good because they do have some good sportier cars, um, and stuff like that. So I do like that. Oldsmobile, it's Oldsmobile. I'll put that at let's see here, terrible, just because I don't know too much. Lincoln, I accidentally put it atrocious. I'll do Lincoln now. It was kind of light. I didn't really see that in there. That was kind of blending in. Lincoln, I'll put a bad, or I was thinking about putting it a bit. I'll put it at good, just because Lincoln has some good cars, but they also don't have the best cars. Depends on what car you pick, really. Pidgeot, I know, or however you pronounce that. Pardon me. That'll be a passable. Plymouth is also passable. They have some good cars too. Pontiac, unfortunately, they had to go kind of by the wayside. Now, if you ask me what Pontiac, like depending on which Pontiac you want to get, like the Firebird and whatnot, that's passable. But if it's like the Pontiac Aztec, that's a whole nother story. So, that's how it's gonna go. Figured I'll put that up there. That's a pretty good one. I'll put that up a great. Just trying to see. We got Chrysler. Chrysler, I'll put up at bad just because they don't have that much good cars. Ram, I'll put up there at good because they have some good trucks. I like Ram trucks and whatnot. They have some nice, decent trucks down there, so that's cool. Whoops, I'm actually clicking on the thing here. Rolls Royce, I'll put that up at legendary, of course. Probably one of my favorite car manufacturers, and of course the Rolls Royce. The cars they put out there, probably one of my favorite looking of all time. Where I put it, yeah, most of these I don't know. It's just kind of tough to get. Celine, I'll put that at great. So that's they have some pretty good cars, but I can't put that at legendary. I think that's too much for them. Um, let's see, Sion. I don't know a little bit about them. I'll put them a good. I know that logo is Ferrari. I'll put Ferrari at legendary just because they're legendary enough. Shelby. I'm pretty sure that's the Ford Shelby logo. I don't know if that's Ford, but I'll put that up a good. I'll put that up a great with Ford. I don't know if that's Ford Shelby or if that's just another car manufacturer, but I think goes to be good. Subaru is passable. Suzuki is also passable. Tesla is also, I'll put it up there good just because they're a more higher class of cars, of course, electric cars and whatnot. Um, that's, how it is. So, just trying to look at other things. Toyota, I love Toyota. I'll put that up with great. Toyota is such a great car manufacturer. I love them so much. They have some really good cars that they put out there. Of course, you got Volkswagen, another one of my favorites. I'll put that up there with great. They have some good cars, especially Golf and whatnot. Volvo, I'll put that at terrible just because I don't really like Volvo at all. Honestly, they have some pretty atrocious cars, and they're lucky they're not down there at atrocious. We went this whole tier list without putting anybody in atrocious, so that's interesting. Well, that'll about do it for our tier list series after all. Unfortunately, like I was saying, just to kind of address it, again I couldn't really rank these kind of here at the bottom. Just on the count of again, I don't really know the logos too much or like what the name is, unfortunately. So I mean, I kind of got what I wanted. I kind of wanted to, trying to look here. Sorry, I'm trying to look at some information here. Maybe I could add on to. I mean, I ranked all the ones, all the major ones I wanted to. Let me see what the description is. Since most comments on here don't show some major car brands that I know of, this is the person who made it. Decided to take things into my own hands. Uh, 60 years ago. Man, maybe that's why. Maybe a lot of these maybe went out of business if they were over 60 years ago to modern supercellers, of course, which is the one that I know about. That's interesting. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's pretty common. I'm trying to think. Maybe that's pretty common, I guess. Maybe some of these are super old that I don't really know too much of them. Maybe like a lot of these went out of business or, don't do it anymore. They don't make cars anymore or whatever. Yeah, maybe that's why. That's interesting. I guess that makes sense. I guess that kind of answers my question if that's how long they were. That's if they were made a long time ago and kind of went out of business since then. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. But on that interesting note, I might do a different tier list on this. Maybe I'll come back to it in a couple episodes and do a different, maybe ranking actual cars, like maybe how the actual cars look, maybe not the manufacturers, just how the cars look. Maybe I'll kind of see if I can find a tier list series on that. Or not a tier list series, but I'm so used to saying the tier list. Maybe I could find a different tier list on that. Um, but yeah, I guess on that very interesting note, I was just trying to think about what else. I guess on that interesting note, that's where we're gonna cap off today's video. Again, if you want to see me do any specific kind of tier any specific kind of thing, comment down below. Of course, I'm always open to suggestions or ideas if you guys have it. Just in general here on the channel, but then for this specific case, if you want to comment down below, whatever you think I should do, what I should rank and anything really. So any suggestions, I would like to see that in the comments if you guys, think of any. And yeah, just having fun with the series. Like I was saying, I really have a lot of fun making it. It's actually really cool. Brings more culture here to the channel. With culture and a little bit of kind of like variety also, I should say. More variety here to the channel and whatnot. Um, and yeah, I guess that'll pretty much do it. So with all that being said, make sure to subscribe for more content. Like view all good stuff. Discord, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, links in the description. I was just trying to think of anything else I had to say before the end of this video, but I don't think of anything. But yeah, just with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.